Whoever in their right mind conceived that statue? Why? Because you know they're going to take it down eventually with all the uproar behind it. Martin Luther King and his wife, Coretta Scott King, they deserved a better statue than that. Hey, everyone. It's your girl, Miss MLK, coming to you on this Martin Luther King Jr. holiday in NYC. Apologize, but I have to talk about this. This is horrible. So on Saturday, I saw the unveiling of the new monument. I saw it actually live in my house on my phone because I don't live in Boston. But when I saw it, I thought the same thing like everybody else. And I'm going to tell you what it was after I read this article from CNN, which reads, "A new monument dedicated to MLK and Coretta Scott King prompts mockery and criticism. Backlash ensued soon after a monument meant to honor Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott King's legacy in Boston, was unveiled. The 20-foot tall, 40-foot wide, the Embrace statue was unveiled Friday on Boston Common, where King gave a speech on April 23, 1965, to a crowd of 2,000. The statue was inspired by a photograph of King and Scott King, which captured them hugging after he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. The art piece, designed by Brooklyn-based conceptual artist Hank Williams Thomas, only features the couple's arms during the embrace and not their heads, which has sparked criticism and mockery online. Some people describe it as hideous or disrespectful, while others posted memes and said it resembled a sex act. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Statue was insulting to his family. He previously described it. Oh, no. Let me move back. If you can look at it from all angles, and it's probably two people hugging each other. It's four hands. It's not the missing heads. That's the atrocity that other people clamp onto that. It's a stump that it looked like a penis. That's a joke, Scott told CNN. Now, Scott is the cousin to Coretta Scott King. But whoever, did the article, they actually kind of, chopped it up because of the stupid freaking ad. So, hold on. Let me see. Let me just go back for a second. Let me see. Yeah. So it reads, Seneca Scott, a community organizer in Oakland, California, and cousin of Scott King, told CNN the statue was insulting to his family. He previously described it as a masturbatory metal homage in an essay published by Compact magazine. Okay, and he said, if you can look at it from all angles, and it's probably two people hugging each other, and it's four hands. It's not the missing heads that's the atrocity that other people clamp onto that. It's a stump that looked like a penis. That's a joke, Scott told CNN. But Martin Luther King III said on Monday he was grateful to be able to see a statue representing his parents' love story and their partnership. While some people have negative opinions about the monument, he told CNN's Don Lemon on Monday he liked it. I think that's a huge representation of bringing people together. King said, I think the artist did a great job. I'm satisfied. Yeah, it didn't have my mom and dad's images, but it represents something that brings people together. And in this time, day and age, when there's so much division, we need symbols that talk about bringing us together, he added. CNN has reached out to Thomas for comment about the reaction to the embrace. In his newsletter, Thomas said earlier this month the piece was not only a monument to King and Scott King, but a monument to love and the power it holds. A representative for Embrace Boston, a racial and economic justice group nonprofit behind the creation of the monument, declined to comment about the criticism and deferred to King III's comments. The embrace is intended to inspire visitors to reflect on the values of racial and economic justice that both kings espouse. The group said about the memorial on its website. It's really sad when the cousin of corettascottking is more concerned and sees what most people see and is appalled about it than the actual son. And this is the problem that many people have with the children of Dr. King and Coretta Scott King. It seems like they're going along to get along. There are some people that even accuse them of that they do this for money. Now, I'm not going to say that's what they do, but what I'm going to say is that it's not cool. First of all, that statue is not a good representation for the simple fact it looks like a sexual act is being performed. There are children that are going to see this every day when they're in their car going to school with their parents. We don't need to see images like this, okay? That wasn't healthy at all. I have a huge problem with that, okay? And number two, I have a problem with disrespect of Dr. King. And the fact that you decided to not include their faces and heads is problematic as it is right there. But to cut it off and have it so where that statue ends up looking like two headless people performing oral sex is disgusting and hideous. The optics of it is wrong. Okay? Maybe when the statue from like when you put it down and you do the small image of it, because they do that before they create the bronze of it. Yeah, it doesn't look that hideous. But in person, in the large scale of it, oh no. This got to come down. Because I'm going to tell you why. If it doesn't come down on its own, somebody's going to desecrate it. Because people are sick and tired of Dr. Martin Luther King being disrespected. They're tired of it. And with the whole reparations movement going on, it's not cool. It's not cool anymore. It's not. It's not a cool thing. You could look at this and see that it looks like two people doing something weird without heads. It's not normal looking at all. And I'm going to show you the image of them with the hug. And I'm going to show you the image of the statue. And if Dr. King and his wife were present, they wouldn't condone this shit. But it's a lot of people who are the go along, get along gang. And a lot of them it's the boomers. See, the problem that we have is the boomers. If the boomers weren't the go along, get along type, and I'm talking about the black boomers, we really wouldn't have a lot of these problems that we have. It's like the boomers dropped the ball once the silent generation went into retirement. And I don't dislike them, but I'm noticing what a lot of people have been speaking about, and I never paid attention of it. I never paid attention to it until last year. And they deserve better. But I think for the sake, I think a new statue needs to be made. It's too sexually suggestive. It's like they're performing a sex act. And that's not cool. It looks very, 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 very lewd and lascivious. And I don't like that. Like, don't do that to my people. And he's a black man. And I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't think that he meant to do any harm. Because I've seen his work before. He's a conceptual artist. And I'm going to say, his work is pretty good. You know, for the most part, his work is pretty good. He's very talented. So I'm not going to say that he's this bad person. But what I think it is that as people, I would have just did it different. I understand where he was getting at. But when you take off their heads, it looks like they're performing oral sex on one another. For that, I would have left the heads. But I get the message, but it didn't come off right. The optics of it, the visual, because of the children. Now, if it was in a museum, then fine. It was in a museum, okay. But in the public atmosphere, outside, no. Okay, so his mother. Yeah, I don't know. I would not have done this at all. But with that being said, I'm signing off. Thank you for listening and tuning in. And happy holiday, Dr. Martin King Jr. Day. And I'm signing off. Take care.